Now, I got to talk to your brother Mike first, though, because he was the one that wanted to speak up.
He was my husband.
Oh, your husband, sorry. He's your friend, too. Okay, so he says to tell you, take a deep breath. When he made his transition, and the reason he's talking about being a friend, he says, you lost more than just a husband, you lost a partner, and you lost a friend, and you lost someone that you could laugh with, and someone that you could cry with. There was a lot that was lost when he made his transition. And that's why he says it's so important that you realize that everything you feel about him, he feels right back about you. That there's nothing that's out of proportion or nothing that's unreturned. So every time you're thinking about him, he's thinking about you. It's about being one. He says literally that's what it's about. There's a September birthday or anniversary that's connected to your family that he's recognizing. And then he's also talking about going down to Florida or going down to the ocean. I don't know if you've talked about that here in the next couple of months, or if there's friends here. Are you going? Yeah. Are you guys related?
She's my future daughter-in-law.
Oh, well, welcome to the family. Mike says he's glad you're joining. Are you guys?
He should be.
He's very glad. No, what? And are you going to Florida after? Yeah. Oh, it'll be a beautiful time. He's your guardian angel. He really is. He truly is. And he says you help so many people. He just sees such good in you. And
she donated her kidney to my son.
Yes, he says thank you so much for all you've done, for all that you've done. And Mike says he's so very glad you're in the family. You're the one with the September birthday or anniversary in your family. It's in your family. There's something coming up in September that will be significant, because he's pointing it more specifically to you now that I'm talking with you too. There's a Carrie or a Carla or a Carol who's friends with you or who's connected to you that Mike is acknowledging, who's still physically here. He's also talking to me about like straightening out a little dresser. I don't know if over the past couple of days you like dusted off a dresser, or you were rearranging some things on a little dresser or a little like an armoire. But he's talking about moving some things at home and putting away some things, and some of that's his and some.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to put away.
And he can help inspire you like little bit at a time. Part of that I know, and he says part of it is that you get overwhelmed because everything is a memory and everything is a connection. And he says, please, just one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Mike's he's very protective of you. And so he's very, like his energy is very deep and very, as I said, very protective. But he says he wants you to understand that it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be cautious, but it's okay for you to have your life too. It's okay to move forward. He says sometimes you feel like you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like you don't want to get out, but you don't want to stay back, and so you feel trapped. And he says everywhere you go, he goes with you. So you cannot ever abandon him or separate or betray him in any way. And he's really serious about that. There's a bear connection, and he shows me Colorado and all this kind of thing. But he's talking about bears being important or being a sign or a symbol of him. And there's another M, like a Matt or a Mark, someone who's still physically here, who's friends with the family, who's connected, that he's recognizing. Someone in the family is a nurse or works in the hospital too that he's mentioning, and he says send his love and blessings there. There's a Jackson or Jack who's connected, and he's mentioning him as well. Were you trying to wear your hair straight today, or trying to straighten your hair out? He was with you. He says to mention about that. Mike's chuckling. He says, don't fight your nature. He says, don't fight who you are. He wouldn't change a thing about you, not even your hair. And he says, just don't fight it, don't fight it.
When she showed up, I told her, well, I was going to wear my hair straight, but it started raining. So.
Mike was there. Yep, he was there. There's these carrots he's telling me about growing too, or planting some kind of little garden.
His son Travis and I have
Mm-hmm.
been talking about planting a raised garden.
Yes.
Something, and we've been planting herbs and stuff.
Yes, do some carrots, because Mike says they're easy. But he says the garden's a good idea.
We're just beginning.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's an easy, kind of real quick, and it will respond well. But he wants you to do that. He says, just please tell Travis he loves him, and he's with him all the time. He's shown me like this licorice and all these candies and all these sweets. I don't know if you've been like snacking on licorice lately, or you've been eating a lot of.
Last night I had a surprise bachelorette party, and they were handing out licorice.
He was there. Sort of. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he just popped in and then he quickly popped right back out for the licorice part, and then he moved on.
Nobody really knows.
Nobody would. Oh, somebody knew that. He says it's okay. And you conducted yourself. Well, you conducted yourself. He has a good time with you. He likes to tease you quite a bit. About 6 or 7. I don't know if you'd tried to get a different job, or if there'd been some kind of change with you and Travis. And Mike is just remembering that or mentioning that. And he says you're both on real steady ground now. I do think Travis is going to keep growing and growing and growing, and he's just beginning a journey that's going to be really rewarding. So please tell him that Mike says he's on the right path. He's on the right path with that. There's 2 other children. Do you have 2 grandchildren?
Yes.
He said just to send his love and blessings and kisses to them, because he's watching over them as well. And there's an Annie or Ashley, someone with an A name who's still physically here, who he's mentioning. And I think she's friends with you. Erin, yeah, he likes her too. Yep, and that's why he said the A, Ashley or Amy. Yeah, he says he appreciates that she is really supportive of you, and then you can support Travis. I mean, it's just a very good connection there, so he's recognizing that. There's a grandmother who's connected with you too, who's passed though. She's an older lady from your mom's side of the family. Nona, that's her. Yeah, she wants me to tell your sister and you both. She's sending her love. Okay, there's a Wanda who's here, or Wilma, or Juanita, a name that sounds like that, who your great-grandmother is recognizing. Your mom would know who it is if you can't think of it, but it was one of her old friends or one of your grandmother's friends, so she's mentioning that. And your great-grandma shows me someone working as a waitress, or someone waiting tables, or doing something at a restaurant, and she's remembering that too in the family. There's an earring or an ear piercing connection too that your great-grandma is talking about. I don't know if you were looking at earrings to wear for your wedding, or if that'd been an issue lately with.
I was just shopping for earrings.
She was with you. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. She was with you. She's so proud. She says you're just a beautiful girl inside and out. It's sweet because she's calling you a girl. I mean, like, she just sees you. That's why she sees you as that little girl. Yeah, and she says just inside and out. But please send her love, especially to your mom and your grandma, from her. That would mean a lot to her if you would do that. Back to Mike. I know I talked about birds earlier, but he says he does send you a lot of birds to let you know that he's around. And there's this little deck area, too, that you go and sit on. And he says when you go sit and talk to him, he's right there in the chair next to you. There had been, I don't know if you had a chair that you tipped over because you were, like, cleaning it out, or if there'd been, it's outdoors, like where you'd had to clean some chairs out or clean out some furniture outside. and he's mentioning that. And there's this little box too. I don't know if you have like an outdoor box where you keep like different cleaning supplies, or there's outdoor things that you keep. It's like a covered box. You have you'll think of what it is. I think it's a utility box. Either somebody had to come and check the utilities, or there was something up against the house they had to come check on the little box. You'll know what he's talking about when you see it. Yeah, you'll know what it is. But he says clean off that deck area, and just know that when you're sitting out there, he's out there with you. And there's a little chair. I mean, I see him like sitting in the chair next to you and just being a part of your morning routine. And having the mug of coffee and the tea in the morning. He's right there. And that's just how it used to be. Thank you for giving him the courage to let go when he needed to let go too. He says you helped him with that. And he says again, you told him it was okay. You told him it was okay. And he needed to hear that because you were the one that he held on for. And I know you know that. And he said when you told him it was okay, things calmed down and he was able to step out. And he says thank you for letting him. Thank you for letting him go. There's an April birthday or anniversary in the family that he's recognizing too. And someone had like a heart surgery or some kind of like an angioscope or an angioplasty where there'd been some kind of a heart procedure. Yeah, he's with him. He's just acknowledging that. And that's a good connection for both of them. He's telling me about a frog, but he shows me that with you. I don't know if you guys had put out a little frog statue, if you'd done something with a frog not too long ago. You'll see what it is, and you'll know what he's talking about. And I would mention it to Travis, too, because he'll know what it is, but he just wants me to mention that to you guys. He says that's all. You've got a lot of travel coming up, not just with the Florida, but I think there's even more beyond that. And he says just no matter where you go, put your feet on the ground. Thank your angels for getting you there safely. And know that he's the leader of the pack, guiding you and protecting you always. So, and he says thank you and he loves you so, so much. So, you're welcome. I wish there were words. I just hope you can feel how powerful and how strongly he loves you. If I could just say, he's so very protective and just wants nothing but for you to feel his love and to let that comfort you as you take baby steps. Just baby steps back into the world. But he's with you. You're welcome. Thank you. Bless you. There you go. Wait a minute. There you go. Thank you.